my sister, Rubina, was telling me how unhappy she was in her marriage. And I said to her, come to me. And she said, I can't, because I have to think about honour. She didn't want to dishonour the family by leaving her husband and divorcing him. But my sister, in the end, took her own life. She set herself on fire. Rubina did, and she died. It's more honourable to do that than to dishonour your family by leaving your husband.
This is an incredible and powerful new movie called The Honor Diaries, and joining us now in studio is a woman who helped make this movie, our friend Raheel Raza. Raheel, it's so nice to see you.
Thank you.
I have watched not all of this movie, but a number of clips, and I find it extremely powerful, beautifully produced, but the story is terrifying. Tell me what caused you to participate in this movie project.
Well, Ezra, I've always been an advocate for women's rights. I've always been an activist for women's rights. I come from Pakistan, where there are, according to the UN, almost 5,000 honor killings in a year.
Oh my God.
So it's a terrifying statistic, and it's something that has bothered me all my life. And Honor Diaries was an opportunity to speak out, to not remain silent anymore. You know, to realize that I don't have to be alone in this battle for activism, that there are other women who will speak out with me.
When you've joined up with some amazing women, we've got 4 more clips. Raheel, I'd like to show those because I want people to see a taste of what I've seen.
Sure.
And then I'd like you to comment in between just for a few moments because I want to get as many of these clips in as possible. And then when we're done, I know our viewers are going to want to know how they can see more. But let's jump right in. This is the next clip. It's about the troubling subject that a lot of reporters are squeamish to mention, and it's female genital mutilation. Take a look at this.
It's going everywhere in the world where the Muslim Brotherhood goes.
It can cause bleeding, infection, infertility, and even death.
It cannot be compared to male circumcision. It is very different. It is to limit the sexuality of the female.
It's definitely linked to the issue of honour, because again, it's about controlling female sexuality.
Ayaan Hirsi Ali, a powerful fighter of freedom who wrote the book Infidel. Tell me, how widespread is female genital mutilation? Does it happen in Canada?
It does. And according to statistics, it's rampant in the United States, the healthcare workers, and these are just the reported cases. So what you have to understand, the biggest struggle is that not all these statistics are out there in the open. You know, we are only talking about that which we know.
Right.
What we don't know is also going on under the table, very much in Canada. So it's no longer an exported problem.
Jeez,
it's a problem that exists here. And you are right. People don't want to speak about it.
It's squeamish. I mean, it's tough. And people don't want to talk about it because they don't want to think unhappy thoughts, and they don't want to seem judgmental. Let me show the next clip from your movie. This one is about the concept of honor and how that can be twisted. Take a look.
My family took me out of education, and I was held a prisoner at home for a number of weeks until I agreed to the marriage. And I did, purely to buy back my freedom, and I ran away from home. My mother said to me, you either come home and marry who we say, or from this day forward, you are now dead in our eyes. So we were taught that as young women, we had the power to dishonour our family because the reputation and the honour of the family, the position, was invested in our behaviour.
That is very different than our Western liberal notion about the equality of men and women, how women are their own autonomous persons that can make choices for themselves. We have our notions of honor too, but they're not about the submission of women and making them just an adjunct to a man.
Absolutely. Now you have to understand that Jaswinder, who's speaking in this clip, is from a Sikh community.
Oh, yeah.
She has a Sikh background, and this is her story, and a very powerful story. She's part of 9 women who came together to speak out about these atrocities. Some of them had personal stories, and some of us have just been battling the issue for other women. And Jaswinder's cause actually led the Prime Minister in England to make forced marriages and underage marriages a criminal offence.
Oh, wow.
Something that was a very good move. But this idea of honor is vested in a woman's being, in her behavior, what she says, what she does, who she speaks to, where she looks, how she dresses. And the entire focus of these tribal communities, and you know, this is tribal practice, but now has been imported into North America.
Into modernity, and yet it exists alongside modernity.
Well, you know the Shafia trial, you know Aqsa Parvez.
Oh,
it happened right.
And in those cases, the girls and women were trying to escape from, I mean, Jaswinder here says, well, she submitted to the marriage. I mean, it's out of enormous pressure and duress. But in the terrifying cases of honor killings, that's when women say, I no longer want to be part of your idea of honor, and then they're murdered. I want to be cognizant of our time, Raheel, so let me go to the next clip about political correctness and this spicy issue.
We're being overly politically correct. You're put in this sticky situation where if I question this, then I'm questioning their culture.
I think they're confused over these issues. I think they think that they have to be quote-unquote culturally sensitive. Exactly. They don't understand that it's a case of human rights and that cultural relativism has no place when a woman's rights is being abused.
Now that woman who was just speaking is Nazanin Afshinjam, who is a Canadian, a pop star, model, a public speaker, and recently married Peter MacKay, the federal cabinet minister. I'm very impressed to hear her speaking so clearly the language of freedom and moral clarity.
Absolutely. You know, the mantra of the film Honor Diaries is that culture is no excuse for abuse. Right. And this is what we have to keep on remembering when we are looking at the clips of this film, that, you know, cultural relativism should never be more important than a human being's life.
Exactly. I want to show you, I think this is the last clip. If it's the one I think it is, it's with Ayan Hirsi Ali. This is the one, Raheel, that when I saw this, a chill went through my body, because all I could think about was Aqsa Parvez and the Shafia girls, especially the little ones. Yes. And this one will give you the chills. Watch it.
Most of these girls, before they're killed, they've had multiple contact with law enforcement officials. And all of these people, at the end when it all happens, they say, oh, I really didn't think that she was going to be killed. Even though she had been saying systematically, I think I'm going to be killed.
That's what happened to the Shafia girls. They talk to social workers, they talk to cops. And, you know, these days, cops have their special multicultural units, often with Muslim police who said, go back there and figure this out, cultural sensitivity. It's terrifying. We're almost out of time. Raheel, where can we get a hold of this film? Where can we see it in Canada? Where can we buy it?
There will be a Toronto launch on the 30th of March at the Colossus Theatre in Woodbridge. You have to keep on looking at the website of Honor Diaries to know where it's being shown. Ottawa, the 24th of March, through the Freedom Films organization, and that is also on the website. So, and private screenings are recommended. They are suggested. You know, there's invitations on International Women's Day for groups to get together and watch the film.
Women's Day.
International Women's Day.
You've got to get those white liberal women who were feminists in the 70s and 80s, who are shy now because they don't dare criticize Islam. You've got to recruit them. You've got to wake them up, Raheel. You've got to say, we need your help now. You've got to call the Judy Rebicks of the world and say, come on, we need your help now. Folks, honordiaries.com, honor spelled the American way, H-O-N-O-R. A must-see movie. Raheel, I'm so proud to be your friend, having seen this amazing film you've helped put together. Nice to see you, and good luck with it.
Thank you.